Hi, my name is Stefan Roots, and this is CCity TV, episode 8. We're up to episode 8. We've got a lot of things to cover, so we're going to be real quick today. We're going to cover city news, school district news, other news, sports news, my news, and some music. We'll close off with that. And let's talk about some city news. We're going to talk about park benches in Chester Park. Park benches, it's been a long time coming that we can finally go to the park and have a seat without bringing our own seats. These are absolutely beautifully made benches, very sturdy, some kind of composite material. They look like wood, but I think they're actually stronger than wood. All we have to do now is have more concerts in the park so people can take advantage of the seats. Nothing wrong with the seats. Now you guys, when you commented on the blog post, the little video I did, all you want to talk about is Council Lady Liz Williams' glasses. That is so wrong. Alright? She got the benches for us. Let's give her a hand. Alright, the old school concert. We saw some of our old school acts from the 80s. That was a lot of fun. Good amount of people came out. Young, old, the DJ was rocking it. Now the entertainers came a little late, but when they came, they gave us a good concert. No trouble with the park. Thank you, Chester City, for that wonderful concert. The NAACP banquet, the crown jewel of Chester's who's who. The place to be seen. It was held out at one of those hotels on Essington Avenue who can't seem to get the microphones right. That was an ultimate embarrassment, how they just couldn't get a microphone to work for the first half hour, 40 minutes of the event. Ridiculous. I don't know why we can't get our own catering hall here in Chester and manage it ourselves instead of keep funneling our money out to these places that really don't care about us. But the banquet was good. People were honored like they do almost every year. I just would like to see more from our NAACP. I don't know about you. I mean, the banquet is great, but I just want to see some more stuff throughout the year. That's just me, though. I don't know how you feel. The Chester Police Department, there's been some demotions and promotions. That's old news. The newest news is that the people who got promoted, we found out, haven't gotten the raises, and the people who've been demoted have not got a cut in pay. That's just ridiculous. So we got more infighting between the mayor and city council. It'll probably go to court, and it'll be figured out then who should get paid and how much, and who should determine who gets paid and promoted and demoted. That's city news for you. Recycling and trash collection. People are up in arms because this summer they're only going to be collecting trash once a week. Well, actually twice a week if you count recycling. But we're not serious about recycling. It's no law to recycle. It's not mandated. Nobody slaps you on the wrist if you don't put your recycling out. We heard from our city council lady that she's asking the state to put a recycle bin at everybody's doorstep. Well, I thought that would have been done long ago, because right now you can go to City Hall and get yourself a recycling bin and put it out. But I really believe that if everybody who owns a home went to City Hall to get a recycling bin, they wouldn't have enough for us. So I don't really know who's serious or not about this recycling thing. And it's only going to be one trash collection per week in the city. Get over it. Buy yourself another trash can and use some twist ties and some real trash bags. It's a mess how people put their trash out around here. We can do it once a week if we try. Okay, let's go to school district news. A couple statistics came out over the past couple months. 59% of Chester students are dropping out before graduating high school. That's 6 out of 10. That's 6 out of 10 is 3 out of 5. 3 out of 5 students are dropping out of school. That's no laughing matter, but it's something that seems not to get a lot of attention. But we have a new superintendent. We've talked about that before, and he's bringing some of his people down with him. He hired a couple administrators out of where he worked before, and they're getting paid about $225,000 collectively to do the job that I guess we hope can get done. Now there's a 5-year contract for this school district superintendent, but it doesn't look like the school district is going to survive for 5 years, does it? They're talking about closing a couple more schools. I think there's going to be like 3 schools left in the school district, maybe 4. But the superintendent said he was going to go door to door to try to recruit 300 students so he can keep 2 of the schools open. But he wouldn't, at this point, he won't tell us how many people he recruited that day. It's a strange effort to try to get students to come to your school when you have to knock on the doors and ask the parents, can Johnny come to our school? I don't think it's going to work, but I wish him a lot of luck. In other news, the Ruth L. Bennett home, you know I've been on this thing since since last year. It's an eyesore. The state Department of Transportation has come in with $1 million. The renovations are going great. When you ride by 2nd and Rainey or Route 291 in Rainey, you see the renovation going on. Look at it. It's looking great. There still doesn't seem to be a use for the place when the keys are turned over to the board of directors at the end of the year. But I heard through the grapevine that the board of directors have reached out to a certain entity in the city and asking for help. And I think they're going to sit down in August. I think it's kind of late, but at least they're asking for help. So some of the other rumors that have been running around with regard to the use of that building may not be true. Hopefully the help will come. I hate to see that building get turned over to someone else when it's to be left in the hands of Chester people. I've got a bad feeling on this one. In sports news, Rugby Sevens, the collegiate championship, came back to Chester this year. It was exciting. It's become my new favorite sport. These guys get it in, and I think this was the 3rd year they've been in Chester at PPL Park. Pennsylvania Power and Light for the guy who didn't know what PPL stood for. I think they're coming back next year. I think there's a long... Hopefully they'll be back for the next 20 years. That collegiate rugby championship is a sight to behold. Lingerie football, at least that's what I call it. Women's professional football was here at PPL Park. I absolutely have to admit that I enjoyed it. I told a friend I had an extra ticket. I said, hey man, you want to come? Because I know he had seen a game before. And he says, oh man, I got something else to do. I said, well, I'm only going to stay for half the game anyway. He says, no, you're not. And boy, was he right. What a great game. What an entertaining spectacle of beautiful football. Chester baseball is back. We've got the Delco League guys. They are playing hardcore baseball. The Delco League. They're in first place. We've got the RBI League from the Philadelphia Phillies. They started this year, or did they start last? Well, they started this year. They're getting it together. The Jackie Robinson Little League. They're getting it together. Baseball's coming back to Chester. We've got the city-sponsored softball league. I don't have any photos of them from this year, but baseball's coming back. I'm excited about that, being a former baseball player. And Bo Ryan, everybody knows Bo Ryan, the former Chester High School player from way back when. He's coaching the University of Wisconsin Badgers. I got it wrong on the blog. I'm sorry, Bo. But he and Raouf Dorsey of the Biddy League got together, and Bo has donated a very substantial amount of money to outfit the Summer League Biddy basketball players with shirts and balls, and he's expected to make an appearance, Bo Ryan is, in August. So I hope to be there to meet him. That would be a real honor to meet Bo Ryan. That would be so cool. Bo Ryan's coming back home and hanging out on the 7th Street courts. In my news, I did a story on I don't work for the Chester Spirit, and it's so crazy because even after putting out that blog post, at least 4 people have said, how can I get this in your paper? It's like, that's not my paper. I didn't mean any harm, but I just want you guys to know the Chester Spirit, I have nothing to do with the Chester Spirit. That is not my paper. I do the blog. My paper had a different name. I have nothing to do with the Chester Spirit. But thanks to the Chester Spirit, they were at an event that I wasn't invited to, and that was my father's scholarship was honored. The consistory, mostly the guys from Franklin Lodge, gave the first Reston C. Root Scholarship. Now my father, as you know, passed away not too long ago, and it was his dream to start a scholarship fund months before he passed away. And for some strange reason, the guys locally forgot to invite me and Mom to the first scholarship awarded in his name. I wasn't too happy about that, but thank God the Spirit was there, because if they weren't there, I would have never known that banquet had taken place and the scholarship was offered. So, thank you, Chester Spirit. Melvin Wade and I have been partners for the last 5 years, as I've written pretty much his memoirs in a book called Toxic Man. And the book is getting a lot of buzz everywhere, except Chester, of course. And I don't really care about Chester, because Chester really doesn't care about the story. But it's getting a lot of buzz outside of Chester, all around the country, in fact. And we were on Philadelphia radio. It was crazy because it was me and Melvin talking about Toxic Man, and then Nicole Cogdale talking about her case with Wet Seal. Well, we go on first, me and Melvin, and did we go on first? Yeah, no. Nicole went on first. Or did I go? I don't know who went on first. But in any case, when me and Melvin go on the radio, and it was a remote location, that they did the broadcast, after 5 minutes, boop, they lost the signal. They lost the signal. We were off the air for like 20 minutes. We couldn't even do our spot. In fact, Nicole came on after us and she rode through real smooth. So that goes to show that the ghost of Melvin Wade's haters are still out there somewhere. But we did get to call in on the following day, and it was exciting to hear the people respond to the story of Melvin Wade being a successful businessman even before the toxic waste ruined him and his business. And that's what the story is all about. And then a couple weeks ago I went up to New York for Blogging While Brown. Now people say, well, what's a blogging conference all about? Is it to teach you how to blog? No, it's where bloggers go to get better, to get different resources. You see, blogging is just like one aspect of your social media package. I mean, some people blog, some people Facebook, some people Twitter, some people LinkedIn, some people, there's all kind of stuff out there. And what the blogging conference does is it connects us with people who are connected to people. And primarily what it does is connect us to businesses. So of course, the Melvin Wade book got some plug out there. And people were looking at the Chester blog. They were looking at it very, with some very discerning eyes. And they were like, with the numbers that you're getting, why aren't you making some money with this thing? And I was like, well, it really isn't about money, it's about a community service. And they're like, yo man, you're coming up with some huge numbers as far as viewers, as far as readers, as far as scope of where the readers are coming from, as far as amount of content. The only place that we're lacking is comments. People don't comment on our blog. It's like I have a large, quiet audience. So if you guys would just read the blog post and just say, I read you, or good post, or hi, or something, it would really go a long way to give me that last bit of numbers that could make this blog even bigger and better. I'm just going to leave it at that because I'm not begging for anything. I'm not trying to make any money on this blog. I'm just saying that you're a quiet audience. I know you're out there because I see the stats everywhere else, and other people are looking at the stats everywhere else. If you would just participate just a little bit more, I could bring you a lot more. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. Okay, let's end this up with Avery Sunshine, our little local darling who sings her little behind off. She sang the national anthem at the NCAA Final Four. That was a grand event. She's so funny because when we talked to her, she didn't realize how big an event that was. And that put her on a national scale in front of millions of people. She also just came back from New Orleans at the Essence Music Fest. So that was a big deal for her too. So congratulations, Avery Sunshine. And what else did we have? Oh, I'm going to close this out with the White Godfather of Soul. He was down at the rugby tournament down at PPL Park. I don't want to take a lot of time today. I hope you enjoy the CCity TV episode number 8. I'm going to bring it to you more often. If you've got some comments, some questions, some concerns, or submissions, just go onto the blog, chesterblog.com, and you'll find the email address there. My name is Stefan Roots. I'm signing off. Thanks again for watching. I'm out.